The new Archon quest Caribert had many new secrets about the world of Teyvat revealed to us, but it also introduced us to a new entity, an abyssal force in chains, a sinner, mysterious, powerful, and some might even say captivating. But who could this sinner be? Who can communicate through minds, reverse curses, and change destiny itself? Could he be a king, a god, or a power from beyond? Before we start, spoiler alert if you haven't done the quest yet. Most of this video is heavy speculation. I have provided as much proof as I can, but some of it, I'm afraid, cannot be proved with the amount of information that the story has provided until now. So please keep that in mind and let's get into it. To begin, let's discuss the extraordinary circumstances under which we came into contact with the sinner. Dainsleif tells us at the end of the quest that he believes us reliving our siblings' memories, quite literally might I add, was because of the abyss tampering with the ley lines, which caused them to be in turmoil. But all the components needed for us to experience this exact moment in the abyss siblings' past lines up too perfectly for it to be a coincidence. Dainsleif told us that he, the sinner, might have seen us, but what if that was the intention, to finally see the traveler? Dane also tells us that he could see us because things like time and the fact that this was a memory was not an obstacle to him. This could suggest two things. One, the sinner's powers transcend the rules of time and space, and two, he has access to the ley lines. You see, ley lines are a mysterious network that link the entire world of Teyvat, and it is said that they remember all things that happen in this world. The artifacts we receive from both the ley line outcrops and domains contain memories in the description, which have managed to be unchanged despite the two Irminsul rewrites that we are aware of. And if you like reading the lore and artifacts like me, you would know that the information in them are in no way limited by time. They are snippets of time, conversations, dreams, aspirations, and even secrets across time. If the traveler was able to get a snippet of their siblings' past through the ley lines, and if the sinner could access them at all times, Dainsleif's doubts would be valid. Now, that explains how the sinner was able to see and communicate with the traveler. But it doesn't explain why I suggested he might have organized this meeting himself. I have a few reasons for believing this. This moment in the past, the introduction of Clotar Alberic to the Abyss sibling, the unfortunate fate of Caribert, and further information of the curse and the cataclysm was a turning point in the Abyss siblings' journey. When the traveler saw the sinner, they recognized the abyssal energy and was wary of them. On the journey that the traveler had been on, the abyss is a negative force. But when the abyss sibling traveled, was this experience the same? When the abyss sibling heard the sinner's voice, were they alarmed by it, or did they find it alluring? Did it change them like Clotar, making them see a whole new perspective of power, of pain, and of the hope that the sinner offered to transcend one's fate? But why would the sinner offer this to the travelers? Does he know of their otherworldly origins? And if he does, why does he believe that they can transcend the fate that this world offers when he himself, with great abyssal power, is in chains? Before we discuss that, there is another thing that struck me throughout this quest. The repeated mention of the word fate. This quest is named Caribert, but the parts of this quest are destined encounter, fortune-mocking pedigree, a lamenter at fate's end, and potented fate. The Abyss Lector that we meet before laying eyes on the sinner is called a Fortune Lector, who is the keeper of fate's end, and he is guarding the gate to the sinner. So is the sinner fate itself? I don't think so. You see, when I first saw the sinner, I thought, oh, that's a Primogem. But after I got over my gacha obsession, I thought, this entire fate thing makes sense. This is a creature with great power who probably controls the abyss and can change fate. And whatever he was able to do is what made Caribert into the loom of fate, right? Not really. Let me try to explain this. If he's fate, why does he want the traveler to transcend fate? He should be able to do it himself. And yes, I know he's chained and contained in some sort of manner, but that hasn't stopped him from not only transferring powers to Kandrians, communicating with people through memories, and also accessing the ley lines still. Dane says he saw us now. He's still out there. Whatever those chains were meant to do isn't really working. I think when they called the Abyss Lector the Keeper of Fate's End, they were hinting at something else. The sinner is someone who could change fate in the past. I don't think he can do it now, and I have a very, very speculative theory for this. The traveler's sibling was someone who was not from this world, but something happened that caused them to become a part of this world. That something, in Nahida's words, is obfuscating with their fate, and they are trying to fight it in their battle against destiny. But what if this isn't the first time this happened? If you are familiar with the story of the Seelies and the traveler from afar, a traveler who was not from this world met a Seelie and they fell in love, but this wasn't supposed to happen and they were separated. Now we know what happened to the Seelies, but there's no mention of the traveler from afar's fate. What was their curse like? Did they lose their memories? Did they disappear? What if they too somehow came in contact with something that connected them to this world, and now they can't change their fate either? In my theory, this something could be the Abyss. Let me explain what I mean by that. Firstly, yes, I am suggesting that the sinner might be the traveler from afar, who is also speculated to be or have some connection to the second who came from our favorite law book from Economia, Before Sun and Moon.
You're like a flower, born in sin, yet pure, spotless. I know your fate well. You need no longer hold back your resentment, nor accept the countless lies. Go forth, become a transcendent one. Rise beyond the fate bestowed upon you. And I shall shed a tear at the end of time, as I gaze back upon your life.
Think about it. The sinner tells the traveler to transcend fate, but also says that he will shed a tear for the traveler as he gazes back at their life. It's like he knows the traveler will not be successful. And this is because he has already done the same thing. He's stuck in this world in chains, even with his powers. He's still here, and so is the Abyss sibling who's trying to fight their fate. If I were to make a very speculative timeline of how this happened, here's how it would go. The first throne, the primordial one, and the shades fight the second who came, defeat him and banish him to the Abyss perhaps. But the second who came gains the power of the Abyss and the ley lines, which are somehow always being corrupted or tampered with by the Abyss, which causes illusions, dreams, memories of the past like we have experienced with the traveler. And the reason why this entire theory fits for me is how the Goddess of Flowers says, invaders descended from beyond the firmament, bringing with them destruction, overturning rivers, spreading plagues. And though the invaders brought war to my former kin, they also brought about illusions that could break through shackles through the land. But the master of the heavens, consumed by fear for the rising tide of delusion and breakthroughs, sent down the divine nails to mend the land, laying waste to the mortal realm. Celestia seems to be dropping nails to mend the land, which causes destruction but also stops the illusion that they don't want people to see. Not to mention, the sinner calls himself a sinner. What is the sin he committed, and is that why he exists in the Abyss, chained and hidden away? I think the sinner reached out to the Abyss sibling and even the traveler because he not only knows the truth about who they are, but perhaps can sense their true powers. Because he too was once just like them. That's it for my thoughts about the identity of the newly introduced sinner. I have many more ideas about this quest which I cannot possibly fit into one video, so I will be putting out 2 more parts in continuation to this. One of them is a timeline-focused analysis of the Abyss siblings' journey, and the other is about the curse, Kandria's history, Dainsleif, and the Loom of Fate. Let me know your own thoughts about this quest. Who do you think the sinner is? Do let me know your theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching until now. If you want to talk to me about lore, I stream at twitch.tv/Pixieebub, where we discuss lore, theories, characters, among other things. Hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.